Hey, what's up, everybody? Mr. B here. And today I want to talk about the importance of what I call our character development skills that we have in our studio. When you're a white belt working towards your yellow belt, our very first character skill is yes, ma'am, and yes, sir. And the reason why this becomes important is that we're learning how to demonstrate a level of respect that we expect for ourselves. And also, we're learning how to respond to people that are probably older than us or parents or authority figures, and we want to demonstrate to them a certain amount of given respect for their age and station. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, sure, here in America we don't really have like stations, but our parents are a source of deep respect. At least I hope so. My parents are, and I hope that they're a source of deep respect for you, and we want to use our words accordingly. And the other reason is respect is so valuable that we have to give it away first. So if we want people to demonstrate respect towards us, we need to be able to demonstrate respect towards other people. And so we want to be able to give that respect away as part of receiving it in kind. So yes, ma'ams and yes, sirs, big part of what we do here at Montezuma Martial Arts Academy. Second is going to be putting your shoes and coat away. Putting your shoes and coat away um, starts us on the path of taking responsibility for our things, having a place for our shoes, having a place for our coat, having a place for our backpack. This just allows us to know where everything is. So if you're coming up and your parents are always asking you, where's this? Where's this? Where's this? Where's this? Where's this? You always have an answer to that question because you have a place for those things. Okay. And talk to your parents. Make sure that you have one. If you're a grown up, establish a place for those things. I can't even begin to tell you enough how important it is. I lost my glasses just this morning because I had put them down in a place that I don't normally put them down because I was sitting down to do some stretches and I took my glasses off and then I forgot about them. And of course, because they weren't in their spot, I spent the whole morning looking for them. And so, like, that just saves you a ton of time. Like, if you're a grown up and you're thinking about having places for things, you're just unlocking minutes and eventually hours in your day, not having to go searching for your shoes, your coat, your keys, your glasses, your wallet, all that stuff. It's incredibly important to have a place for those. But also, when you think about it for your martial arts training, our techniques have places that they go. Okay. So when I think about like a hammer fist strike, okay, I don't necessarily want to hammer fist strike an opponent in their shoulder. I want to try and hammer fist strike them in someplace soft, like the obliques or even the chin. I don't necessarily want to get stuck or hung up like beating away on a person's body that the technique isn't doing me any good. And so my techniques, my blocks all have a place that they go. And so that helps me establish that idea of everything has a place, even my karate moves, even my car keys, even my glasses. All right. And then we move into the idea of making your bed every day. Yes, I know. Okay. Like, but this is important. Making your bed is exhibiting a certain amount of control over your life that may seem otherwise hectic, especially if you're a young man or woman living with your parents, going to school. There's a lot of people that have control over your life, and you don't have a whole lot of say in your education. You don't have a whole lot of say in like what it is that you're going to do for you. Like your parents have a lot of that. And so, like, learning how to make your bed is you learning how to exert control over your own space. And that is a very liberating idea, having control of something, especially in a world where it feels like you don't have a lot of that. And so making your bed, doing the dishes, like any number of these chores is not just like doing chores for the sake of doing chores or because your parents asked you. It is the act of exhibiting control over your environment in a world where you don't otherwise have or experience that control. And so that is why making your bed is so important. It's just a gateway to those other things that help you again exhibit that control. I can tell you that my personal favorite is doing the dishes. If I'm having a particularly chaotic day, one of the things that really gets me back to zero or helps me calm down and helps me feel like I've accomplished something that I can see that is measurable, right? I can see the dishes go from the sink to the dishwasher um, to being put away, right? So I can see that progress and that control over something that is essentially an everyday chore. And it just, like I said, it helps calm me down because when I'm feeling out of control or when I feel like the world is pushing a lot on me, I can exhibit my control over something, and it just helps me come back to zero. So that is why making your bed is so important. Then we start moving into taking over a family responsibility. Now, this can be a chore. Um, I would prefer it to be something bigger than that. I would prefer that it becomes something that you're doing to remove a stress from your family's life. And so, and this should be something that you're not earning an allowance for. You're not necessarily, your parents aren't reminding you to do it every day. Like, this is your responsibility. This is you giving back to a family that gives you a lot in return, right? Like, and not necessarily in return, but they just give you a lot out of the sake of that's what families do. Families give. That's why we enjoy our families so much, is because our parents, even our brothers and sisters, as annoying as they can be sometimes, are giving to us. And so we want to make sure that we're not a dog, we're not a cat, we're not a family pet. We are actively contributing to the well-being of the household. So when you guys are working on this for your practice papers, this is something I expect you to be talking to your parents about. What is something that you need? What is something that you could really use my help with in order to make your day better, your day easier? All right. Then from there, we move into volunteering in the karate studio. We only require that our students volunteer for 4 classes to get their brown belt. Okay, 4 classes. Those are people that just like, they're not interested in being in the leadership team. They're not necessarily interested in tournaments, but I understand the value of giving back to the karate studio. That's what kept me in. That's what helped me elevate my training a lot. And we want you to give back a little bit. We want you to give back to a community that, again, is giving a lot to you. And so that volunteer time, it's only 4 classes, right? Like, step up, go volunteer 4 hours of your day, um, help somebody else, be a role model, do that kind of stuff. It's important. Then we ask that you volunteer outside of the karate studio for 6 hours. Like, I want you volunteering at your church. I want you volunteering at your school. I know if your parents are part of PTA, they could use a ton of help. There's all sorts of ways that you can volunteer your time to, again, give back to communities. Communities give us a lot. They help us provide schools. They help us provide parks and everything else like that through their tax dollars, through a lot of hard work of a lot of individuals. And we want to show that we're giving back to a community that gives a lot to us. Then finally, for your black belt, we have a big project that we want you to take on. That could be as much as creating a new kata. That could be as simple as writing out a thesis about a certain self-defense technique, why it's important, the real lesson that you're learning outside of the choreography. And these are skills that just help you become a better martial artist through caring about yourself, your community, the other people around you, and just everybody else that you come in contact with. Because if you've got sterling character, that is really what it means to be a black belt. All right, guys, until next time, train hard, fight fast, score first. Asai.